Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Andy, I'm a self-taught programmer, and in this video, what I wanted to talk to you about, actually I wanted to answer a question from a commenter who had asked me about changing his career into software development. He's looking to change from the medical profession into software development, and I get a lot of questions like this, so I actually wanted to answer it for you guys right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. Now, before I get into that, actually answering that question, just so you know who I am, if you're wondering who the heck I am, I'm Andy. Like I said, I'm a self-taught software developer, but I'm also a mentor. I actively mentor everyday people who are looking to get a career transition into software development. So they're looking to learn the skills that are necessary. They're looking for the strategies to land that first job. So if you're interested in content like that, I highly recommend clicking the subscribe button below. Also make sure to hit the bell icon to get notifications anytime I put out a new video. So let's go ahead and see this question here. So this is from, I won't say who it's from actually, I'll try to keep it anonymous, but he said, I have a question, Andy. I'm 32 right now. Do you think besides putting in the extra work, in about a year or two of studying and practicing, I can still get a job? Or is it harder? Like for example, a remote job. I'm currently in the medical business, but after almost 10 years, I want to do something else. I would like your opinion on it. And it seems interesting enough, software development. All right, so that's a great question. Again, I get this so often. You know, if I had a nickel for every time I got asked it, I would be a millionaire, right? So here's the basic way to look at it. So you're asking, should you make this transition? Right? And then the other probably question you have is, how long is this going to take? And also, can I get a remote job? So let's go through each one of those. So first of all, as far as programming goes, I can't tell you whether you should get into programming or not. If you even feel like this is a remote opportunity, or sorry, remote possibility for you, that's something that you would enjoy, the first thing I would do is take the next month and bury yourself into code. Like bury yourself into it. Buy the Head First JavaScript book that I always recommend. Buy the Head First HTML and CSS book if you want to start there, and just start getting into it. Start coding, start building small static sites, start building small little tiny sites with using some JavaScript. After about a month, you'll know whether this is even something you want to do for the rest of your life. You'll at least have a better sense for it. Now, I'm not saying I think sometimes people find after about 2 or 3 months that this is not for them. But hey, look, at least you tried. The worst thing that you can do is sit on the sidelines and try to mull over things, try to think about the future and try to think about, maybe I will or won't like this. The only way that you can know whether this is for you is to actually get into it. And guess what? The best part is if you get into it, you don't like it, you can move on to some other potential career opportunities. But don't sit around mulling it over. Years will go by before you finally make a decision. Make the decision, try your hardest, and see where things take you. Now, the second part of this is really comes down to time. This is what drives people mad. They're like, is it realistic to do this in 3 months or 6 months or 1 month or a year or 2 years or 5 years? So you basically want some sort of expectation. Well, here's all I can really tell you. This is what I did as far as when I went down the path of being a self-taught developer. I basically said I had no idea how long it was going to take. I did not know whether it was going to take 3 months, whether it was going to take 3 years, or maybe it was going to take 10 years. I said to myself, pretty much the moment I opened up my first tutorial, the Head First JavaScript book, which I always talk about because I love it, but it's pretty much from the moment that I started reading it. I was maybe, oh gosh, I don't know, 20 minutes in or 30 minutes in of reading it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a software developer. I just decided right then and there. I was like, I liked what I was seeing. Knowing the career opportunities in it, knowing the job security that comes with it, just knowing that I get to be a nerd on a day-to-day basis, I was like, this just it checks all the boxes for all the things I like to do. So when I hear someone say, you know, is this gonna take me a year? Is this gonna take 2 years? Is this gonna take 3 years? I just say, look, it's impossible to say. It depends on so many different factors. I have a video that I'll actually put a link up here that talks about how long is this gonna take. And what I specifically mentioned in that video is that it depends on so many different factors. Luck obviously being a big factor, right? Like it just depends on your luck. It depends on your previous experience, previous exposure to programming, to logic, to things of these nature. So if you have a science background, if you have a STEM background, I should say, if you have an engineering background, if you've worked with computers before, if you're a really big fan of computers, if you've coded your own little tiny projects when you were a kid, if you've broken down computers, built them back up, if you know a little bit about networking, like all these things make a difference and can shorten the amount of time it takes to learn to code. It also depends on your motivation, how much free time you have, if you have a job, if you have a family, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you that, oh yeah, of course it'll take 2 years. Here's what I can tell you. If you first start off by trying to get out there and learn this and see if you actually enjoy it, then you can figure out the plan. Then you can figure out the timeline. And if you really enjoy this, and if switching from being a doctor in the medical field to programming just makes perfect sense, you really want to do it, then just pour everything you have into there. Don't set an expectation for yourself. You know, you can set a goal. You can say, okay, in 1 year I want to be employed. That's great. But don't say, if I don't get in a year, this is a complete failure and I'm quitting. Like, some people went 2 years. Some people went 3 years and they actually got it. Everyone is different. Everyone has different circumstances. Those people who did it for 3 years, maybe they had a medical emergency. I know so many people who are programming or learning to code, and they lost their job and they had to get a job, or they had a kid, or they got divorced, or they got married. And so like when those things happen, they can take you way off course. And so it's not that 3 years was like how long it took them to learn and they were sitting there every day coding. It's just things happen, and so you can't necessarily predict it. But if you really hate what you're doing now, if you really like programming, then who cares if it takes you 3 years? I don't care. I'll wait as long as it takes. If it's to do something I really like, to get into a field that I enjoy, I'll put in the work and get there. So don't worry. Don't try to say like, well, if it's going to take me 2 years, then it's definitely not worth it. If you enjoy programming, then really why does it matter? Don't focus so much on the timeline aspect. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the remote work. And this is one of my favorites. Okay, so people always ask me as well. They say, okay, I really want to work remotely. I hate my job. I hate working with other people, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. I get it. I totally get it. By the way, I got into software development because I wanted to work remotely, because I always loved the idea of traveling, working while I'm traveling, going to exotic places and working there. Always something I love. And I'll actually post another video about what remote work is really like as well, if you're curious about that. But here's one of the issues that I see happen over and over again is people want to get into this to do remote work, right? So that's their goal. It's sort of like, it's almost like they hear the word remote work and like, oh, software development does that? Okay, I'll get into software development. Look, if you're getting into this purely to be a remote worker, or that's like your highest ideal, you gotta pump the brakes a little bit here. Like, again, like just giving you what my mindset was when I got into software development. The way I thought of it was this. I knew it was gonna take some time. I knew that I wanted to work remotely, but I also knew that I had no control over whether I was gonna work remotely. And once I got my first job, they weren't gonna let me work remote. They let me work remotely periodically, like maybe once every couple months if I was traveling and I just wanted to work. They're like, okay, that's totally fine. But they wanted me in the office. And I needed to be in the office. In order for me to be a good developer, I need to be surrounded by people who were my coding mentors, who were senior developers at the time, and they gave me such awesome feedback, and it was in real time. There's nothing that can replace real-time feedback from peers who are physically in front of you. It doesn't work with remote. So for you to think that you're going to get into remote work like right away, or that's somehow advantageous, I would just say take that off the table. Like, don't even think about it. Think about it like this. Say like, look, I'm gonna focus on getting my job. I'm gonna focus on getting my first job, I should say. I'm gonna focus on learning as much as I can at that first job. And when I get to be a good enough developer, meaning when I'm self-sufficient, when I'm, self-reliant, when I'm able to really, when I have the strength of skills to not be handheld everywhere, which, I wouldn't say you shouldn't really be handheld by the time you're, in development anyways. But the point is that you're good enough to be off on your own and work remote, then that's when the time is right. But to think like I'm trying to get into development because I'm gonna work remote, my expectations, I'm gonna work remote off the bat, it's not the reality. Are there people who got the remote as their first job? Absolutely, but it's the rare case, right? It's the exception, it's not the rule. So if you're really hyped up about the remote thing, just pump the brakes. Worry about getting better as a developer. All your thoughts should be is about how to become a better coder on a day-to-day basis, how to learn as much as you can, how to get help from mentors, how to just increase your skill set so that way you call the shots. Like in this field, if you get really good, you call the shots, meaning you can go wherever you want. You can dictate the terms to a reasonable degree. I'm not trying to say that you can be a prima donna, although I'm sure there's plenty of them out there. So again, if you're thinking of making this shift, let's just quickly recap here. Just don't focus so much on whether this is the right decision or not. Make the shift first, spend a month of your time, 2 months of your time learning to code. If you like it, continue. If you don't, stop. From there, don't worry so much about the timeline. Set yourself a drop dead date of when you want to start applying for jobs. Set yourself a goal of when you want to get that first job. So maybe that's a year, maybe that's 6 months, depending on how much free time you have. But don't get hung up on the date. Don't try to figure this out before you get there. You can't do it. It's a crazy field. It's the Wild West right now. And then lastly, if remote thing is the only reason you're getting into this, then you should really rethink things, because remote work may not come until later into your career. You may not come for your first job. It's highly likely it's not going to come as your first job. So make that your ideal. That's like saying, I want to make 100K salary out of the gate. Is it possible? Hell yeah. You need to get your skills to a high degree. You really need to work for some of the bigger companies or in a location that will allow you to pay that. But to expect it right off the bat, it's somewhat unrealistic. And it's more than that, I find it's just not a good reason to get into this if that's your only reason. So look, I hope that answers your question to the person who asked it to me. I hope this helps anyone else who's in a similar situation where they're in a career they don't necessarily like, but they want to transition into something that, you know, programming that is something that's more aligned with their personality. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it. By the way, guys, if you are new to this, if you're just starting out and you're having trouble picking up programming language, or you're not really sure about what the programming languages offer right now, like what the differences are, I've created a free PDF report called the Top 5 Programming Languages to Learn in 2019. It's really meant for beginners. So again, for you guys who are just trying to figure things out, if you want some recommendations, if you want a little bit more of a breakdown of what to choose, I've created that PDF. It's completely free. If you want to download that, I will leave a link in the description below so you can go ahead and get your copy. Other than that, that's really all I've got for today. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, guys,